Hi you guys, it's Karina. So I am back with another video tutorial on my template 94. So last week I shared the tutorial on how to make the peony inspired flowers using my template. So you can find that now on my YouTube channel here. And then I also share how to make this center that I like to use using one of my own centers that I also sell on Etsy. So they are sold separately, but I do, if you watch that video tutorial, I also do give you quite a few of alternatives for centers that you can find on Cricut Design Space if you have Cricut Design Space. But for today, I was gonna try to squeeze this tutorial with that other tutorial, but it just ended up being too long. So I figured, you know what, we're just gonna split the tutorial. So I do already have a tutorial on the solid flower using my template 94. So you can find that here also on my YouTube channel. It's on a larger flower. Yes, the flower is larger, but you just apply the same steps. Essentially, the way that we're going to be doing this two-layer, two-tone petal is pretty much assembled the same way. We're just using one less layer for this flower, okay? But this is the one that we're going to be making. We're going to be making one slightly smaller just for you to get the idea or just of how to do this in case you've never worked with layering petals. It's one of my favorite things to do, to layer petals on on top of another one. Like, look how pretty, adorable. And then I'm also going to show you which image I use. Now, I did use an image from Cricut, but again, you can do whatever you want center-wise. As you can see here, I switched up the center. So that is all on your preference, what you want to do for a center. But if you're intrigued as to which center I use for this one, I will show you what that looks like on Design Space. So I just want to give you a little look at what the template looks like. So this is template 94. You do receive 14 petals, and then you also get 5 different base circles. I do share what the SVG looks like on the last tutorial that I made on the peony. I won't be doing it here because I already did in that tutorial. So if you want to take a look at what the SVG looks like, go ahead and watch that tutorial. So when you purchase this template, you get both. You get the PDF and you get the SVG. SVG is for cutting machines such as Cricut Design Space or Silhouette. So I do show you how to change the measurements and all that in that previous video tutorial. As for the PDF, that means that you are going to print it out onto cardstock, preferably cardstock, but if not, you can do textway paper. And then you're going to cut out the petals, and they're going to be your own hard copy template that you are going to use to trace and cut, okay? So I typically like to use both. That's why I like to provide both PDF and SVG, because when it comes to the smaller flowers, I do like to have my Cricut machine cut them, but when it comes to the larger flowers, I personally like to trace and hand cut, okay? So for this tutorial, I am going to be omitting the first one, and I am going to be using the first 3 petals. You're going to apply these same steps if you want to make larger flowers, okay? And you're going to need, so let me show you, you're going to need 5 of the larger one, and then you're going to need 5 of this one. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure, so for example, let me get my petals right here. Because we're doing a two-tone, make sure that you are picking 2 different colors, okay? Because again, we're doing that whole layering technique. So for the larger one, you're going to need 5 and then 5. So pick, this is a different color, this is a different color that's going to go in the center, okay? Once you have those completed, you're going to grab this one and you're going to do 5 of this one and 5 of this one. Okay, so essentially this is going to go in the center of that one. So you want to make sure that this is going to be the same color as this one when you're working on that second layer. It's probably confusing right now, but once I have the petals all prepped, you'll see. All right, guys, for the most part, all my petals are prepped because I guess that is the most time consuming part. So I don't want to bore you with that. But I do have one more of the smaller petal that I need to prep. And all you're going to do is get yourself either glue stick. This is personally what I like to use is the Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. You can get this off Amazon. And you are just going to add some glue to the back. And just make sure that the petal is facing the same way, okay? Do you see how they're the same? You don't want to do the opposite. And just like that is how you're going to prep it. I like to give my petals a little roll with my brayer just to make sure that glue is dispersed evenly. So just like that. Then you're going to need a wooden dowel. And you are going to curl the petal back. Typically, I like to let it kind of dry for a couple of minutes, but since we're working on this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead right to it. And then you're just going to cut in the center, add a little bit of glue, and then you're going to cross it over, and this is what you want. So you're doing that for all your petals. Now we're going to start with the larger ones, so we're going to get these out of the way. Honestly, it's such a simple flower to make. We're going to go around in a circle. We're going to add a small dot of glue at the end. We're going to place one petal. And you want to do a small little dot just in case we need to readjust the petals. Last one. All right, that's pretty good. Your goal here is just to have that circle in the center. Now here we want to make sure that we cover that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some cardstock. Where are my scissors? Here they are. Just gonna cut out large enough circle that's going to cover that up. Just like that. And I am using cardstock, so both layers are cardstock, okay? And it's actually from Amazon. I found a pack of 5 different shades of purples on Amazon. So that is the pack that I am using. So now that we're done with the first layer, you could leave it here if you just wanted to do a 1 layer, and then you can just add a large old center in the center of your flower. But we're gonna add another layer. So I'm just gonna add some glue to the left side. And now I'm gonna go in between. Okay. Remember how I only added glue to one side, because I am going to tuck this petal right underneath, just like that, just so it's more of a seamless look. And that is it, you guys. Such a simple flower. Probably didn't need a tutorial for this, but just in case, for those of you who are wondering how I made that flower, that is how I made it. So now for the center, to determine how wide or big I want that center to be, I like to get a measuring tape, and then I like to measure inside of the flower to see how big I want that center to be. I probably am gonna go a little slightly over 2.5 inches, I think, or maybe right at 2.5 inches. So now we're gonna go onto Cricut Design Space, and I'm gonna show you the image that I like to use for the center. Okay, you guys, so here is the image that I used on Cricut Design Space. So this is what it's called, flower. So when you go looking for in the image, type in this image number right here. So the, what is it, pound M329 right? 3293D6. Type that in if you want this same image. When I first found it, this was years ago, guys, maybe like 6-7 years ago. So here's the thing, it is an image that you have to purchase. I believe it was $1.99 when I purchased it, so I do own it. So just a disclaimer there that you are going to have to pay for this image if you want it. But when I first found it, I found it under the Frozen Fever collection, and that is where I found it. So it is a Disney image, so that's why you have to pay for it, because I mean it belongs to Disney, okay? But once you purchase it, you're able to reuse it, or you know, to use it or whatever. So let me delete that one real quick. Okay, so obviously I don't want this color, I just want it as a solid black color. So all you have to do is come over here and go to cut and just go to basic. I just want a basic cut, and that's pretty much it. That is the center. So remember I said that I wanted 2.5. I don't know why I have all these. Let me delete these over here. So I wanted it roughly around 2.5. So then I'm just gonna come here. So either you can type it in here or just use these little tabs at the end and just size it down. 2.5. I think right there, I think that's a perfect size. 2.52 is what I'm going to do. And that is it. So now I'm going to cut it. Again, you don't have to use this center. You can do any center that you want in the center of that flower. I just wanted to share with you guys this image because honestly, it's probably an image that you would have never guessed. See, and there it is right there. When I seen it, I was like, it has potential. And sure enough, it is. It's one of my favorite centers to use. So let me go ahead and cut this out, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so I did cut out my center. Here she is. So I did use text weight paper. I am using, let me grab it real quick. This is by the brand Curious Metallics, called Ionized. This is one of my favorite brands to use when it comes to like ordering text weight paper. I love that brand, just because I love their shimmery paper. It's perfect for centers. So now obviously we're just going to add that center to the center of the flower. Just like that. And then obviously we need a little gem. I love sparkles, so I'm gonna go to my gem box. And personally, this is the one that I was using just because of the galvanized. I wanted something on the silver side, so we're gonna do that one. And then you're just gonna add some glue. And voila, there you go. Isn't she pretty? And you can find the gems too on my website, you guys, on my Etsy channel. So, or Etsy shop, Etsy channel, my goodness. So there you go, and we are all done. That is how you do the double layer. I just wanted to share with you guys with that, just so you can see it's not difficult at all. I think if anything, it's on the easier side, at least for me. I think it is. It's on the easier side, and I mean, perfect for like accent on the wall. So hope you found that helpful. Template 94. Again, the image I used here is from the Frozen Fever pack from Disney. So it is an image that you would have to purchase, but you only purchase it once, you guys. And then if you have design space, you get to use it multiple times, okay? Hope you found that helpful. And the template can be found on my Etsy shop, Ariel Elise Designs. Chat with you guys later. Bye.